Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm really excited to go over this prosthetic hand I made and to show you how I did it. So just to start out, I'm rubbing a thin layer of Vaseline all over my arm where I will be putting down liquid latex. Then I'm just putting down a layer of liquid latex all over my arm and in between my fingers. Just keep in mind I am using a painter's brush which will get ruined by the latex, so please do not use a good brush when painting with liquid latex. You could use a sponge, but I did find that this was a quicker method. After the first layer of liquid latex is down, I then dried it with a hairdryer, making sure it was on cool, because if it's not on cool, you will burn holes through your liquid latex, even if it doesn't even seem hot to you. It will create holes and bubbles, and it will just give you a whole heap of trouble you do not need. Then once that is completely dry, I powdered it with baby powder. You can use translucent powder. I would recommend using a cheaper one because you're going to use a lot, like a lot. And I just didn't have anything that was cheap and that was actually translucent. It was like skin colored, which probably wouldn't be too bad, but I opted for the baby powder. But you do just have to be careful with baby powder because it is just plain old talc and that isn't good for you to inhale. And the reason it has to be like really dry is because, again, if that gets in your powder brush, you have to throw it away. I repeated these steps 12 times before removing the arm. To remove the latex from my arm, I took a flat eyeshadow brush and that same powder and started pushing the brush under the edges of the latex and started peeling it off. Once you finish pushing up the latex, it becomes a lot easier to peel off, but you do just have to keep in mind you need to keep reapplying powder because that shiny side on the inside of the latex will stick to itself and you won't be able to get it off. This is the negative print from your skin that is left in the latex, which looks super cool, which will be the outside of your prosthetic. Next I started stuffing the hand with cotton. It is actually pretty hard to get down into the fingers, but make sure you do because if you don't, the fingertips will go flat. Then I started to layer latex and tissue and started separating that with a spatula to create some wounds that I wanted on the hand. To close off the end of the arm, I just stuffed it with some tissue and put some latex over it and shaped it the way I wanted it. This probably would have worked better with the cotton I was using before, but I actually ran out at this stage, so I went to the next best thing. Then after I get the arm the way I want and it is completely dry, I begin by layering a slightly darker foundation and then layering a lighter foundation over the top to kind of counteract the yellow that the latex and tissue is giving off. To get a base red colour in my wounds, I'm using a Mehron bruise palette in the shade Bloody Rose, and then to darken it I'm using the colour Mehron, and then to darken that again later on I use the Ben Nye Rainbow Wheel and just using the black in that to darken it. Then to add some discoloration to the skin, on a fluffy brush I'm just taking the same red and brown colour and buffing that around the arm. I then took those two same colours again on a stippling sponge and stippled that over the arm to simulate grazes and dirt. I then took a really small brush and that lightest foundation colour we used earlier and started to highlight the highest points of the wound. Then I'm just taking some spirit gum and putting them in the open wounds so that they appear fresh and shiny even though they are dry. Then because the fingers were looking really bare, I took that same red colour on an angled brush and kind of outlined them a couple of mil away from the nail to kind of make them stand out. Then taking Ben Nye's thick blood, I'm just applying this with a spatula in some of the wounds. I also took some of this same blood on a stippling sponge and stippled it over the arm. Then taking that lightest foundation shade again and the Mehron bruise wheel in the Midnight Sky, I mix these two colours together to make sort of a veiny colour, and I applied this with a thin small brush. I do feel like it would have worked better if there wasn't so much texture, but at the same time the texture really does add to the piece. Then for the last stage, I'm taking Mehron's Stage Blood and mainly focusing this at the base of the arm, but also putting it in a couple of wounds closer to the hand. And that is the final piece. Thank you everyone so much for watching my first gore video, I suppose, or prosthetics video, either or. Thank you so much. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.